Welcome. I am Kath Smyth. I'm the horticulturist with the Calgary Horticultural Society, and we are going to talk about seniors gardening. The topic I wish to address is managing your time. I get into the garden and the time just slips away, and I'm not really paying attention to what time it is until suddenly I'm really hot and I realize it's noon. So I try to start early. I tend to adapt my hours and time, and I do little bits of rest periods. I have chairs, not all over my garden, but I have decorative chairs sitting in three corners of my garden. I have a friend who has two benches, one on either end, and she will go and sit there. And she puts her thermos of tea on the bench, and she will have a cup of tea before she continues on. So adapt when you're renovating your garden. I always tell people that. If you've got adaptions and you're sitting there on your bench studying that time, what you want to look at is maybe there's some adaptions you could do to make this easier in the future. Like, for instance, widening your path. Maybe that should be done right away before you have to do it. And enjoy your garden and you still have the time. Start thinking that way while you're out spending time in it. Another tip is to work in shorter sessions. Gardening does not need to be an all-day activity, nor does it have to be done all in one day. I think that as a senior, I'm allowed a little bit of time to do these things, and it can be, as far as I like to do it, is a week long or maybe 4 days long, and I will break them into manageable tasks. I will, for instance, if I'm going to seed my vegetable garden, I'll do maybe 4 or 5 rows, have a coffee break, and go back and do some more of it. And if you haven't cultivated, which when you got your tools out, you should have cultivated your vegetable garden and be all set. I also try really hard to work from my garden bench, and I will stretch and I drink lots of water and I pace myself. I try to do it 3 days in a row. And when you're planting as many seeds as I tend to get a little carried away. I was trying to pick seeds the other morning and I realized that where I was going to put them, I suddenly had 10 packets and I only have 6-foot rows. So I have to go back and take that time. Another tip is seasonal planning and planting for that. And adjust your workload by season. I grant you that spring can sometimes be overwhelming because you want to do it all then and you want to look at it. But in the spring, spend a day and prepare your beds and plant your cool season crops. And when I say cool season crops, I'm talking about things like kale and Swiss chard and lettuces. Oh my goodness, lettuces. And then I also, at this point in time, plant my sweet peas. Those of you that know me know I plant my sweet peas on Good Friday, unless there's lots of snow. Divide your perennials. That's another little chore that you could start doing in the spring. But prepare yourself for if they are flowering or it's early flowering, you may have to leave that chore till the fall. And then increase your activities as your stamina improves. And that means you're getting in shape for gardening. So you're doing some gentler tasks. And then on the summer months, wait and focus just on maintenance and watering and a very light weeding. And my biggest tip in that whole weeding thing is get a good pair of gloves and get the ones with suede hands so that they pull easier. Yes, you can use a trowel and pull them and loosen them, and that is important, but you want to get your weeding done on a fairly regular basis. It's one of those chores that I like to do about every 3 or 4 days. I'll go through. It's amazing how fast chickweed can appear. And the other part of the summer gardening is garden early in the morning so that you're not facing the sun. get yourself a good floppy hat, or a good hat anyway, so that you don't get sun on your skull and you keep the eyes shaded. But that's also when you wear sunglasses. And then in the fall, by now you've been picking regularly, you're getting ready to maybe harvest a few of your crops. You want to plant your spring bulbs, but don't do it until the soil is cool. Like I'm talking tulips and daffodils, but I like to see that they get done. And in the fall is a great time to divide your perennials. And when you're picking your flowers in the fall, leave some of your flowers on, because let them go to seed. Because, for instance, if you leave cosmos seeds on the flowers in the fall, they will reseed themselves and reappear in the early spring, and then you'll have flowers all summer long. And take advantage of the cooler temperatures to do some of your extra maintenance and some of the work that you want to do around the garden. Thank you for watching. This has been Kath's Senior Gardening Tips. I hope that you enjoyed them, and I really appreciate you all watching and listening. Thank you.